The 2013 horror film The Purge presented a grisly future where for 12 hours out of the year, America's government allowed its citizens to legally steal, kill, destroy, and do whatever they wanted in order to get it out of their systems and have peace for the other 364 and a half days of each year. The movie was a massive hit and spawned a horror franchise all its own. But being a hit doesn't mean it was perfect. Here are the dumb things in The Purge that everyone just ignored. The idea. The idea of The Purge is grounded in the ancient Roman festival of Saturnalia, and also that one episode of Star Trek where everyone goes bananas when the clock strikes 6. But even with these inspirations, the actual concept of The Purge is still pretty bonkers when you think about it for more than a few seconds. The concept that most people are really just seething rage monsters waiting for a few hours to come and kill you is troublesome enough. But let's think about this logistically. Wouldn't the billions of dollars of property damage caused in this time slot kinda hurt the economy? You'd have to imagine the property damage and the cleanup takes weeks, if not months, to complete. And the movie tells us that employment rates are so low and stable due to the presence of the Purge. But wouldn't so many sudden casualties every year actually cause huge problems for stability of the workforce? Or even just getting anything done? Sorry, I know we told you last week we'd have the Johnson report for you, but Jimmy got purged over the weekend, and I just can't make heads or tails of his filing system. Do you know what this thing is? Because I don't. Dr. Crampledamps was disemboweled by some goons in masks on Tuesday. I'm actually just a janitor. No one's saying that a yearly purge isn't a great premise for a horror movie, but don't say the economy's booming because of it. Unless you sell guns, or creepy masks, or bleach. You know, just to clean up all the stains from the dead people and stuff. Why wait? When the yearly purge rolls around, everyone seems to wait until it's go time to lock their doors and hunker down for the legal murder fest. Ethan Hawke's character, James Sandon, is a supposed expert on home security. He comes home, has dinner with his family like it's any ordinary day, argues with his kids, and waits until literally 4 minutes until the start of the purge to actually pull the trigger and activate his security system. That makes no sense. Anyone with half a brain in this situation would have been locked and loaded hours before the chaos commenced to make sure all systems were go. Code control. It goes without saying that having a purge happen outside your door, even if it's locked up tight, is pretty bad. But the family's real trouble starts when young Max opens up that door to let in the bloody stranger running around outside asking for help. The question is, if James is such an expert on security, why would he even give his stupid son the security code to open the door in the first place? If everyone's inside when the purge begins, there's no situation where Max would need to even open the gates. That's just bad parenting, Dad. Warning signs. We understand that Max is obviously dealing with some, emotional issues related to the purge. But how does that translate to him driving around a remote control car with a literal burned up baby doll's head attached to it? Maybe this is a signal that little Max needs a little therapy or something. Or at least a less creepy hobby. And that's really saying something, since it's a movie based on a national holiday devoted to murder. Why stay? We're told the wealthy citizens of Purgeland world typically hunker down for the night behind their fancy security systems while the poor, lower-class citizens take each other out. But if you're rich enough to buy this crazy expensive security system, and the Sandons are, why not just, take an international vacation on that day to avoid the chaos altogether? The Purge is a US holiday, after all, and there are hundreds of other countries to duck and cover in for a night. Take your snotty kids to Australia, or Japan, or just drive north to Canada. There's no purges in Toronto. Just Mounties and Mike Myers. Nah, forget it. That'd be crazy. Better to just stay home and take your chances. Makes perfect sense.
Too much trouble. We're just gonna lock down, watch some purge events, nothing special.
Yeah, why knock yourself out doing something special for National Homicide Night? Why the tie? When the Sandons get the drop on the stranger, they manage to knock him out. But instead of just dragging the unconscious man outside, James says this.
We have to get some rope, and we have to tie him up and get him outside.
But James was planning to toss the guy outside and let him die anyway. So why waste any time to try to find a rope to tie him up with when he's already unconscious? Just chuck him out and fight. It's not like you get in trouble for letting someone die on your property. It's the purge, guy. Live a little. Dumb luck. The big finale of the film features a great twist when the Sandons' nice neighbors come over to save the day, only to reveal they're really there to kill them because they think James ripped them off on their security systems. That's quite a twist. But it's also kind of hard to believe these rich jerks would actually leave their houses, even after they spent so much money on those security systems that they're all huffy about. Why not just send an armed butler or maid to do their dirty work anyway? Isn't that what rich people do every other day of the year? Thanks for watching. Click the grunge icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.